Hey guys, what's up? This is Gormizer. I'm here with the SPL Week 4 predictions video. This week we're gonna have some interesting matches. I would normally have the big schedule up like I used to, but something's going on with that right now after the patch today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read it right off of here. As you can see, I actually already did go through and do some of my picks. But as we go into it, the first match we have is Luminosity versus Denial. You can see, put Luminosity 2-0. Denial having a relatively strong showing, Luminosity last week and the week before, showing that they're nothing to mess with anymore. They lost those 2 games to Enemy, and they are not set to lose anymore. They do not want to lose, and I don't think Denial has what it takes to take it off of them. Luminosity 2-0. For Legions versus the Randos, as you can see, I win the Legions. Last week, we saw them do a roster change. They showed up, and not only did that roster change help them, but it helped them take a game off of Envy. Now, I'm a big fan of the way they swapped the roles. Dare is a much better support player. He used to do that before the launch tournament, and his games inconsistently as a jungler are being filled up now by Lasses, who's going to be the jungler, and that's going to be good to see. He used to jungle all the time. He was a great jungler, and as it is, Randozo's just not having the team play to really argue with Allegiance, and especially in this new roster form. I believe that they have it no matter what. Eager versus Sora. I went with a split. Sora I have been underestimating, and I do apologize for that, because it's kind of a... I do that, and then I'm like, you know, maybe they might win, maybe they won't. I don't think they will. Now they're sitting at 3-1, so they've been proving me wrong, but when it comes to Eager, they have a really good roster, and they are really strong. I just don't see Sora being able to take 2 games. I know that Sora can take 1 game, and I know that Eager can take 1 game, but I don't think either one of them is going to be able to take 2-0, so I'm going to go ahead and go that one with a split. Panthera versus Hungry for More is going to be really easily thrown to Panthera. They did lose a game to the Cringe Crew, not only to the Cringe Crew, but with a sub, and they haven't really been playing like themselves lately. However, I think because of that, iRaffer is going to crack down. I think he is going to crack down on them, and Hungry for More is just not going to be able to compete with the #1 in EU. Dignitas versus Leftovers. Leftovers, while they are being... I mean, they're okay. They're definitely not bad, but their team play just isn't that good overall. Whereas Dignitas has been showing up. These last few times we've watched them play, they have been very sure to make sure that we remember their names. Absolutely, Dignitas going to 2-0 Leftovers. For Paradigm versus Cringe Crew, this is a really hard one, because Cringe Crew took a game off of Panthera, whereas Paradigm wasn't able to touch them. That being said, Cringe Crew, by this point, it's a Friday, they might have a new solo laner, and even still, Paradigm will have been cracking down because they are going to be upset the fact that they have 3 losses right now. I firmly believe that Paradigm, they might be a little bit over cocky going into this matchup, but when you go up against somebody who just beat the #1 seed, you don't mess around. I'm sure they're going to practice a lot for this match, and because of that, I think Paradigm is going to be able to come out on top. For Fnatic versus Torpedo Gaming, we're going to be seeing Fnatic, you know, they're sitting around the middle of the pack, but so is Torpedo here. And honestly, neither team having a distinct advantage over the other. I think this one's going to be a split, mainly because both teams they're decent, but they're not, oh man, I'm easily 2-0ing you. It's 1-1 for sure. Now going over to the next one, which is Fnatic versus Hungry for More. It tells a little bit of a different story. Hungry for More sitting kind of at the bottom of the pack versus where Fnatic is at the middle of the pack. I do believe Fnatic is going to be good enough to get 2 games off of this, bringing them up to what will then be 5-7 here after the games with Torpedo, as I see it as a split. This one I see going towards Fnatic. This one's the money match of the week. This one's going to be probably most fun to watch, and just in general, these games are going to be insane. Enemy is top in A. Envy is insanely strong, and they keep getting stronger with every game. Enemy versus Envy, I do believe that they are going to split. I think Envy will take game 1, and Enemy will get a better draft in game 2 to take the second game of the match. This will split between the 2 of them. Luminosity versus Soar Gaming. While earlier I said I'm going to be done underestimating Soar, once again, I'm here with Luminosity, who has just been showing up insanely these past couple of weeks. And I feel like it's because they lost those first 2 games they lost in the split have driven them to not want to lose again. And while the meta is shifting, some of the items are being changed, gods are being changed, I do think that Soar puts a little bit too much emphasis on gods that aren't necessarily the strongest. Whereas Luminosity is very flexible, but they usually go for the strong picks. And not only that, but they usually get the strong picks. They are very good at drafting and then very, very good at playing. Luminosity going to 2-0 over Soar. And then for your Monday Night Smite matchup, you're going to be seeing Eager versus Enemy. Eager, well, I mean, Eager is strong. They have some really great players, notably Divios and Zabman. The best coming out of the mid lane is definitely somebody else to be looking for. It's just Enemy. Even though their roster aren't the necessarily names like that you would recognize, you don't hear them shouted out all the time. Pain Devion has put himself together just this amazing team. I firmly believe that Enemy is going to be able to beat Eager handily. Alright, but a quick glance over what the picks I had for this week are. Luminosity taking it over Denial 2-0, mainly because Luminosity just is a stronger roster overall than Denial. Allegiance going to be taking it 2-0 over the Randozos. Randozos just not necessarily doing well at all. And Allegiance with that roster swap is going to be tearing through a lot of teams here soon. Eager versus Soar. Eager is definitely a strong team. They have a lot of strong members. However, Soar has been showing that they are a force to be reckoned with. And therefore, I'm going to just go and have to say that they are going to split. I don't think Soar is strong enough to take 2 games off of Eager. And I don't think Eager is going to be able to have the team play to take 2 games off of Soar, so split for that one. Panthera versus Hungry for More is probably one of the easier choices. Panthera being 9-1, they are the top of EU. Hungry for More being at the bottom of the EU rung, just not necessarily making a fight at all towards anybody. Panthera is going to have that one easily. Dignitas versus Leftovers. I'm going to give it a Dignitas. They've been showing a lot of signs of life lately, and that's really kind of what makes it matter. The Leftovers not really having what it takes, I think, to take down anybody really other than maybe Hungry for More at this point. Paradigm versus Cringe Crew. While this one's actually a really hard call, I do think Paradigm's going to be able to 2-0 it. I think knowing that Cringe Crew took a game off Panthera is going to kind of drive them into wanting to be a better team here. I think they're going to practice a little bit harder going into this matchup, and I think they're going to take it a lot more seriously than they have been. Definitely going to give that one to Paradigm. For Fnatic versus Torpedo Gaming, I called it as a split, neither team really having a distinct advantage. Overall, both teams sitting in the middle of the pack. It could go either way, so I think it will just fall as a 1-1 split. However, versus Fnatic versus Hungry for More, we will be finding that Fnatic is going to be able to do this because Hungry for More, like I said earlier, just sitting kind of down at the bottom of the rung in EU. Fnatic sitting in the middle of the pack. Hungry for More might be able to take a game, but I don't think it's as likely as seeing Fnatic come out in 2-0. For the money match on Sunday, Enemy versus Envy is going to be one of the more interesting games. I think they're both going to be extraordinarily close. However, I think both teams are going to be able to pull out one game. I don't think either team is going to be able to say, hey, we easily 2-0'd you. If anyone is going to 2-0 here, I do believe it will be Enemy. However, I think that Envy is going to put up enough of a showing that they will take one game away from them. Luminosity versus Soar. While I did say once again that I was going to stop underestimating Soar, Luminosity is just a roster that is... They're back. They're hungry. They want to win. They want to be at the top. They lost 2 games early on in the split, and they don't want to let that happen anymore. I think they're going to 2-0 Soar. Not necessarily with relative ease. They will probably have some close games, but it will be a very well-won victory for them. And then following it will be Enemy versus Eager, and while I think Eager will be able to put up a fight, I don't think they have what it takes to take down Enemy. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this SPL Week 4 predictions video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you want, and come back next week for Week 5 of the SPL after we see what exactly happens in these games Thursday through Monday.